Yep. Where's Asia?
Okay, are you ready, Jane?
I am ready.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and call the Schaumburg Village Board meeting to order for Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. First item is call the roll, please.
Trustee Patel is absent. Trustee Clare?
Present.
Trustee Sullivan?
Present.
Trustee Dunham?
Here.
Trustee Madej?
Present.
Trustee Bishki?
Present.
President Daly?
Yes, I'm present too, so, okay. Majority quorum is present. And I would like to ask our newly elected and seated village clerk to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if you wouldn't mind. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from April 25th, 2023. Any questions, comments?
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5 nays. No nays. Motion carries. Next item is the approval of expenditures for $2,889,447.13.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve as presented. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Clare?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Dunham?
Aye.
Trustee Madej?
Aye.
Trustee Bishki?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next, we have a presentation here by the Schaumburg High School debate team recognizing them for the championship, and I believe it's Carl, correct? Please step forward. Okay, all of you come forward, I guess. All right.
All right.
So maybe line up there behind him for now. That would be great. That's good, that's good. Far enough, yeah, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
So thank you to the village president and the board of trustees for recognizing Schaumburg High School's state champion debate team this evening. We also want to thank you for the road sign that's out in front of the high school that honors our program's 7 titles since 2012. My name is Carl Schwartz, and I've been coaching Schaumburg since 2006. I'd also like to introduce my assistant coach, Caitlin Clark Johnson, who is a Spanish teacher at Schaumburg. Caitlin is everything you could want in an assistant coach. She's an expert in the activity. She's passionate and dedicated, and she comes up with ways to improve the team every season. The debaters and I appreciate her, and we would not be nearly as successful without her. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about a competitive high school debate so you can understand the magnitude of what we accomplished. Then I'll introduce some of the people who made it possible. We do have some debaters who are absent due to spring sports or music lessons or studying for the AP test. These debaters tend to be highly involved in the school community. So this activity is best understood as an academic sport. Each month we receive a variety of topics, mostly in the form of legislation, dealing with current issues in economics, international relations, Illinois state governance, and national policy. We also debate resolutions that pose ethical or philosophical questions. For this year's state tournaments, we had about 5 weeks to prepare for 19 different topics like housing, food, and college affordability proposals, U.S. relations with Nigeria, El Salvador, China, Mexico, Cuba, and Brazil, facial recognition technology, and Supreme Court reform. Sometimes our students have background information on these topics, but often there are at least a few topics that are completely new to them. So they learn a lot from these topics and the research they do. So the first level of competition is the brainstorming and research we do as a team. Students have to read academic journals, government publications, and newspapers to gain deep and broad knowledge. Our goals are to understand the whole topic and to discover all of the possible arguments on both sides. And if another school thinks of something that we didn't, they'll definitely beat us. Our students also learn the critical skill of how to identify credible information on the internet. And this year our team did such a thorough job researching that it gave us a huge competitive advantage. So one of our sophomore state researchers is here tonight. That's Jay Gupta. Jay practices really, really hard. He asks great questions. He's very ambitious and goal-oriented, and he grew a lot this year. So we're very happy with Jay. And once we've researched and practiced debating the topics, we get to compete against all the other schools. Coaches and former competitors judge the debates based on how well they were delivered, organized, and argued. One aspect of debate that I love is that students usually have to take the devil's advocate position on some topic, which allows them to understand perspectives with which they strongly disagree. And sometimes this even changes their minds. And they also have to open themselves up to cross-examination from competitors who are trying to undermine their credibility. And it teaches them how to think on their feet and not back down. So I also want to introduce junior competitor Vasanth Kalangari. He was a great team player at state. Between rounds, he added extra research to our files. He really went above and beyond to help the team win at state. And then finally, we have our individual debaters who medaled or received recognition at state. First is sophomore Daniel Adeki. He was a state semifinalist. He's a great researcher and speaker. And he's also our team's best presiding officer. He was elected by his peers to run a session of debate at state where he enforces Robert's Rules of Order to ensure that every competitor gets a fair chance at speaking. Next is junior Manan Arshad, who medaled in philosophical debate. Manan is one of our team captains. He's one of the most dedicated debaters I've ever coached. He helps teach younger debaters and sets a great example of how much work it takes to be successful. He knocked out some strong competitors at the state tournament in the preliminary rounds and was key in developing the strategies that led to our victory. Up next is sophomore Alandi Patil. Alandi finished 9th in state in congressional debate. She took the lead in brainstorming and the researching process and was prepared to debate both sides of every single topic on the agenda. She made sure that there were no gaps in our research or any arguments that we were unprepared to answer. I really don't think she could have worked any harder before or during the tournament. And then finally is our junior Clark Easley. Clark was the captain of the all-state debate team, and he won the final round of the tournament that earned our state championship. Clark also accomplished this feat last year. This year's victory was especially impressive because as a defending champion, all the other contenders knew that they needed to beat him to win, so they saved their unusual or tricky arguments for him. But Clark was always one step ahead of the competition. He's completely mastered his debate event, and next year he could become the first debater in Illinois' 82-year history of competition to earn a three-peat. So thank you again for giving me the time to present these exceptional debaters. We should be proud that we have such wonderful people in our community. And I also want to point out that none of these students are seniors. They're all returning next season. So the future is very bright for Schaumburg debate. Thank you.
So a couple of questions. One was going to be, who's not returning? You guys all returning? Wow, okay. And what a thing, you're going to have a tough, bud, to live up to that kind of commentary and all that, but that's what it's all about. Debate's tough. It's not easy, and if you've already done that well, I'm sure you'll do even better next year. So that's pretty exciting. Thank you very much for helping on this and helping them get through. So I was telling Carl, your teacher, that when I was in grade school, it was like debate. No, I'm going this way. I think I got to go work out somewhere, you know. Yeah, not involved in anything like that, any public speaking and everything else. So, but admire people that can do that and do it well. So thank you very much, and we're real proud of Schaumburg being here. Anyone else on the board?
I would like to ask, do you guys practice with your parents?
About borrowing the car or something?
I mean, they must be pretty good at debating, but you're all like juniors and sophomores and juniors? Yeah. Mom?
Yeah. Yeah. Debate over dinner, right?
Yeah, right. What do we have
They get
for
it out of
dinner?
their system at
No.
practice. They don't have anything left for them.
Okay. And the parents, I assume, are here somewhere, right? In the audience? Okay, all right. So we're going to get some pictures, and then maybe have parents come up too, but after you get the initial pictures. Anyone else, some comments? No? Okay.
Congratulations.
Yes. All right, so, okay. Yeah, why don't you, I'll stand up, and then that way, if you come up here, you just form a little half circle up here. Yeah.
I'm gonna get one, but I'm only going to get one, too.
Okay.
All right, screeching just a little bit.
Big smiles.
Big smiles. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna grab a few, and then I'm gonna let the parents come and take some photos as well. We'll get out of the way here, so. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, going to move on in the agenda. We have liquor license requests. There's actually two requests. First one is from Mr. Kurt Kuster. Thank you. This is for a Class A liquor license for Mugs Pizza and Ribs located at 24 West Schaumburg Road.
Yes.
A few of us have been there. So,
Thanks.
okay, so,
It's my son, Michael.
yeah,
Kuster.
a new request. We asked for someone to come to the board and just kind of talk a little bit about what you're doing. Obviously, you've been there, you're expanding your operation, so kind of tell us from there.
We hope to have sit-down and, of course, a liquor license to, we've had, after 12 years, a lot of requests to have, people want to come and have a beer, sit down, have a pizza. Hopefully, we're going to apply to sit outside for probably next season and put some tables outside and hope that's our pretty much intent to
Okay.
bring more people in,
Okay.
get more business.
Okay. Now, are you still staying open late to serve? I mean, you.
We're
2 or
open
3
till
or
3 a.m.
3 a.m., okay.
7 nights a week.
So, yeah, just so you're aware, the liquor license does not extend that long. It's, I believe, I should know, 1 o'clock during the week and 2 a.m. on weekends.
And I
So,
thought that'd be
Yeah,
sufficient, totally
okay,
sufficient
just
for
want to
ours.
make sure.
Yeah.
All right. Questions, comments from the board? No? Okay. Well, then your next step would be during normal business hours is to go to the Liquor Commissioner's office, which is right up here, and fill out the application, pay the appropriate fees. There'll be a background check done by the police department, and once all that's passed, then a liquor license will be issued.
Okay,
Okay?
great.
All right, thank you, and good luck
Thank
to
you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay, next one is a request from Mr. Andrew Quatros. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Quadros.
Quadros, right? Okay, and your partner, is that your partner? Why don't you come forward?
Yeah, Binu is the actual owner and the operator
okay.
and the financer for this location.
Oh, okay, all right. So you're looking for a Class S liquor license, which is for a Gulf BP gas station?
Yes,
It's located at Gulf and Meacham.
yes.
So it's a new license, not had one there before. This is a license that was created a while back for gas stations that met the minimum requirement of retail space, which you do, and so you've applied for this. Any changes done to the store other than be able to accommodate beer and wine in there?
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Okay. All right. Questions, comments from the board? No? Okay. Same process during normal business hours, 9 to 5. Approach the Liquor Commissioner's office upstairs, fill out the paperwork. I think you've already done some of this stuff, had conversation there. Pay the appropriate fee, get the background check done, and then a license will be issued.
Thank you.
Okay?
All
All right, thank you.
everybody, appreciate it.
Okay, sure. You're welcome to stay or leave. Next item is consent agenda. Consent agenda will be read in its entirety, voted on as one motion to approve. If you wish to discuss an item further, please indicate that when the item is read by the village clerk so that it can be removed from the consent agenda, discussed further under committee reports. Otherwise, all items will be approved as presented on the consent agenda in one motion to approve. Will the clerk please read the consent agenda? Thank you.
Number 1, liquor licenses. The motion would be to approve the request from Pastor Jerry D. Hayes of St. Peter Lutheran Church for one Class D one-day liquor license for the Schaumburg Hoffman Estates Memorial Day program on May 29, 2023 at St. Peter Lutheran Church located at 202 East Schaumburg Road. B, the motion would be to approve the request from Mr. Shashin Vyas of Global Brew Tap House for one Class D one-day liquor license for the Solstice Hop and Vine Fest, Schaumburg Park District fundraiser on Saturday, June 17, 2023, from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Sports Center located at 1141 Irving Park Road. C, The motion would be to approve the request from Ms. Rachel Sexton of the local kitchen and tap for one Class D one-day liquor license for the Solstice Hop and Vine Fest Schaumburg Park District Foundation fundraiser on Saturday, June 17th, 2023, from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Sports Center located at 1141 Irving Park Road. D, the motion would be to approve the request from Mr. Keith Kell of Renaissance Schaumburg Convention Center Hotel for one Class D one-day liquor license for the Solstice Hop and Vine Fest Schaumburg Park District Foundation fundraiser on Saturday, June 17th, 2023, from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Sports Center located at 1141 Irving Park Road. E, the motion would be to approve the request from Mr. Corvin Kieran Whiting of Kenneth Young Center for one Class D one-day liquor license for the Chicago Gender Society event on May 9th, 2023, from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Kenneth Young Center located at 650 East Algonquin Road, Suite 104. 2, proclamations. A, American Legion Poppy Day, May 26, 2023. B, National Police Week, May 9th through 20th, 2023. 3, Engineering and Public Works Committee. The motion would be to authorize the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for supplemental engineering services for the Engineering and Public Works Transportation Departments with Chastain and Associates LLC of Schaumburg, Illinois, in the amount not to exceed $285,000 and approve the required resolution. B, the motion would be to authorize the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for the fiscal year 23-24 90 North Schaumburg TIF project management services with Chastain and Associates LLC of Schaumburg, Illinois, in the amount of $101,000 and approve the required resolution. C, the motion would be to authorize the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for small cell permit review assistance with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. of Itasca, Illinois, in the amount of $98,800 and approve the required resolution. D, the motion would be to approve the resolution to utilize motor fuel tax funds in accordance with the Illinois Department of Transportation resolution for maintenance of streets and highways by Schaumburg under Illinois Highway Code 2023-2024. E, the motion would be to authorize participation in the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative Contract and award purchase of one Freightliner ambulance to Foster Coach of Sterling, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $521,024 in fiscal year 25-26. F, the motion would be to approve the ratification of expenditures utilizing Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract for the purchase of 2 Ford E-Transits to National Auto Fleet Group of Watsonville, California, in an amount not to exceed $120,270. G, the motion would be to authorize participation in the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract and award the purchase of 4 Peterbilt single-axle chassis to JS Truck Center of Wadsworth, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $600,000 in fiscal year 25-26. H, the motion would be to approve the purchase of 6 Ford Utility Interceptors in an amount not to exceed $357,000 in fiscal year 23-24. I, the motion would be to approve the purchase of 1 Chevrolet Tahoe in an amount not to exceed $65,119 in fiscal year 24-25. J, the motion would be to approve the purchase of 1 Ford F-250 and 2 Ford F-450s in an amount not to exceed $176,259 in fiscal year 24-25. Number 4, the Transportation Committee. The motion would be to authorize the village president and village clerk to execute the memorandum of understanding with the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning for the Northwest Cook Transit Coordination Study and approve the required resolution. B, the motion would be to direct staff to proceed with cross-section Alternative 1 concrete multi-use bike path with 5-foot sidewalk along with Solutions 1 and 5, all stop at Parker Drive, for the Salem Drive Corridor Improvements Project. C, the motion would be to accept the 4-year implement plan for the bicycle program improvements. Number 5, Zoning Board of Appeals. The motion would be to approve detention facility grading variation for TWR Service Corporation, 940 Lunt Avenue. B, the motion would be to approve an amendment to Municipal Code Title 15, Chapter 154 zoning pertaining to short-term parking regulations. C, the motion would be to approve a sign variation to increase the size of a wall sign for Steinhafels, 915 East Gulf Road. D, the motion would be to approve an amendment to Municipal Code Title 15, Chapter 154 zoning pertaining to rooftop solar energy systems on structures in the Old Schaumburg Center and historic buildings. 6, resolutions. The motion would be to adopt as resolution number R23-036, authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for supplemental engineering services for the engineering and public works and transportation departments with Chastain and Associates LLC. B, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R23037, authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for fiscal year 23-24, 90 North Schaumburg TIF Project Management Services, the Chastain and Associates LLC. C, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R23038, authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement for small cell permit review assistance with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. D, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R23039 to utilize motor fuel funds in accordance with the Illinois Department of Transportation resolution for maintenance of streets and highways by Schaumburg under the Illinois Highway Code 2324. E, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R23040, authorizing the village president to execute a memorandum of understanding to accept planning technical assistance services delivered by the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for planning for the Northwest Cook Transit Coordination Study. 7, ordinances. The motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 23-041, granting a detention facility grading variation for TWR Service Corporation, 940 Lunt Avenue. B, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 23-042, amending Title 15, Chapter 154 zoning of the Municipal Code pertaining to short-term parking regulations. C, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance 23-043, granting a sign variation to increase the size of a wall sign for Steinhafels at 915 East Gulf Road. D, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 23-044, amending Title 15, Chapter 154 zoning, Section 154.70A5 of the Municipal Code pertaining to solar energy systems on structures in the Old Schaumburg Center and historic buildings. This concludes the consent agenda.
Look for a motion to approve. The consent agenda has been read.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. The consent agenda has been read. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Clare?
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Dunham?
Aye.
Trustee Madey?
Aye.
Trustee Bischke?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Thank you very much. Committee reports, we have none listed, none for this evening. Comments from the audience, an opportunity to come up and speak before the board for items that are pertinent towards the village of Schaumburg. Please limit the comments to 2-3 minutes. Questions, comments? Hi, Bobby, how are you? All right, come on up. Nice seeing you.
I would, thank you. Nice to see you. I would like to know what's happening with the bike path that is on the north side of the Nitty property. Proposed bike path.
It's in discussion.
That's it?
That's all I can say at this time.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, council report.
No report.
Excellent. For President's report, I just want to mention, how's it feel, Jane? First one's done. Got through that one, it's great. Okay, did an excellent job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. In Maryland, thank you for being here for support, even though you're no longer on the board, still helping out and still being supportive. Thank you very much. Shows true dedication. That is all I have for this evening. Manager's report.
I just have three quick items I wanted to mention and remind the board and members of the public that we have the Engineering and Public Works Open House that's coming up on Saturday, May 20th. I know Mike and I talked yesterday, and they have a great number of activities and events that are there to highlight the work that they do in engineering and public works. So I'd encourage members of the board and members of the community to attend that event and learn more about EPW. We also have two employees that have earned their master's degree and will be graduating within the next few days. Matt Frank, the Director of Economic Development, has earned his master's degree in public administration from the University of Illinois Springfield. He'll be going through commencement on Saturday. And Andrew Buckwinkler in the manager's office is wrapping up his master's in public administration at NIU. So if you see them around the building or at a future village meeting, please extend congratulations. They worked hard and have earned their master's degrees. And like I told Andrew, it's a degree that will pay dividends for the rest of your career. So well worth the investment of time and effort. And that concludes my report.
You said, where did Matt go?
University of Illinois Springfield.
Oh, wow. Okay, and Andrew?
NIU.
NIU. Okay, good man. Okay, sorry, George. No?
I was just asking what time the EPW open house was.
10 to 2.
10 to 2, thank you.
Okay, good weather. All right, any new business? Any unfinished business? Trustee comments and mentions? Going once, going twice, okay. Look for motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much.